So our first one is Mrs. M. She's a 71-year-old lady, and she was extremely ill in hospital after suffering an incarcerated inguinal hernia, and she had an infarcted bowel. She did have a very long stay in intensive care, and that involved her going to and fro to theatre 3 trips in total. And she also recently had a local excision for breast cancer. And that meant that she was going to have to have a course of radiotherapy after she came out of hospital. So she really was up against it. And at times her consultant felt that she just wasn't going to survive and that she had really been through too much. But he was very, very keen to tell us as tissue viability nurses about her indomitable spirit. And she commenced TMP in hospital, and she was discharged on that therapy, and she found that the exudate really was an issue because she felt, even though TMP is a marvellous therapy, for some people when you go out of hospital it can be quite an issue when you're trying to fit it into home life. And she did feel that odour was an issue to her. She didn't like the feeling of the pulling of the pump, and she became very stressed and anxious about her activities because she was still restricted. She was due to attend the hospital every day for radiotherapy, and she felt that was even going to be more restrictive, and she just wanted to get back to dancing. She loved ballroom dancing, and that was her aim, to get back to dancing. And I think from what she'd been through to get to this stage even was amazing. So we discontinued the TMP and we started her on ALLEVYN Life, and we also used Durafiber as a primary dressing. She dreaded trying something new, but she felt that she was quite confident with us that she would try it for us. She soon felt that the dressing wasn't there, which is great, sort of really from day 1 and 2. And she started going to her radiotherapy sessions, and she became quite confident, and she really was very sure when she was talking to us that she felt much more independent. She actually didn't have a negative comment. So putting well-being into context there, she wanted to carry on dancing and social activities. She felt the wound was stopping her from leading a normal life. From a psychological point of view, she was so anxious that the wound was going to leak onto her clothes and that her wound would be very smelly. And also anxious that the dressing wasn't going to stay in place. So this was when we first took her off the TMP. It was, the wound was 3 centimetres by 2, and it was 3 centimetres deep. So we still had quite a bit of exudate to deal with. And we started on the 2nd of April and we finished on the 14th of May. We started off with twice-weekly dressings, and then at the end of the treatment we were leaving them on for the full 7 days, which was great. And she was very happy with that because she didn't have us having to keep coming and doing lots of different visits, and it didn't interfere with her dancing. So that was how the wound, the dressing fitted on her abdominal wound. Very, very comfortable, not an issue with it at all. And that was at the end of the therapy where we just discontinued.